Grace and peace to you, beloved. Amy Wilson Feltz here. I am the pastor of St. Paul's United Methodist Church in El Paso, Texas. And I wanted to thank you for joining me for coffee on this Wednesday morning. I so look forward to our time together. It is a really important point of connection for me. So once again, thank you for being here. I want to start this morning, as I often do, with a story about my children. We have 3 kids, Jason and I. They are ages 6, almost 5, and 1. And so many of my stories do come from parenting right now because this is where I am living. Augustus is our middle child. He will be 5 on the Monday before Christmas. He is spirited. He is full of imagination. He makes us laugh all day long, and we are so grateful that Augie is a part of our family. He's going through a season right now where he wakes up really early. I've always been an early riser myself, and so I can understand that tendency. However, he also becomes cranky really early in the day. I hope that I've grown out of that phase. Yesterday was one of those days where he was just really struggling, and he decided that he needed something, and I encouraged him to meet that need himself, that he had the capacity to stand up and go get what he needed and sit back down at the breakfast table. And he just decided that was an insurmountable proposition. He just could not imagine standing up and taking care of the need that he had and then coming back to the breakfast table. And so I offered to walk with him. Now I understand I could have just said, Augie, you need to deal with it, and offered him a bit of tough love, as they say. But I said, I would be willing to walk with you so that you can take care of this need, and then we'll come back together. So I literally walked with him into the kitchen so that he could get the item that he needed, and walked back to the table. I didn't touch him, I didn't put my hand on his shoulder or anything. I just literally walked beside him and said, you can do this, you can handle this, you can take care of this for yourself. I understand that this is a silly example, but it reminded me of a passage from our wisdom literature, particularly a book called Ecclesiastes, and I'd like to read a few verses from chapter 4 this morning. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. 2 are better than 1, because they have good reward for their toil or their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up the other, but woe to the one who is alone and falls and does not have another to help. Now, I know that I'm speaking at a time when many of us literally are living alone. So I'm looking at this passage, not literally, but figuratively, because the season of Advent and Christmas can be difficult in any given year for us as we feel alone, isolated. Maybe we're feeling some grief because of the loss of a loved one. And this year, many of us are separated from our extended families in ways that we have not been before. And again, many of us actually live alone. So I just wanted to acknowledge that because we are part of the family of God, because we are part of the body of Christ, because we participate in this faith community at St. Paul's, in whatever way we're able to do that, we're not just one. Even if we live alone, none of us is just one. We're all part of 2 or more because we do belong to a group of people, a group of followers, a fellowship of believers. So we are with each other to walk with one another when we feel like we are falling. Augie was falling yesterday, not physically, but emotionally. He was falling. He was really struggling, and I chose to walk with him, and that did make a difference. So we have the opportunity to walk with each other when we are falling. That does mean that when we feel like we need some help, we're going to have to ask for it, but we have ways that we can do that. We can pick up the phone, we can send an email or a text message or a phone call. It's okay to acknowledge that we need someone to walk with us and help lift us up sometimes. So I want to make that offer available to you. We are part of the family of God. And so if you are needing someone to walk with you in this season, please feel free to call the church. I'll include the number below and ask for me, Pastor Amy. I'll be willing to give you a call and see what I could do to walk with you and encourage you in this season of Advent and Christmas as we are offering ourselves to do the internal work of waiting and preparing and expecting God to be revealed in new and real and exciting ways as we make our way to the manger on Christmas Eve to celebrate the birth of the baby Jesus once again. Again, I am here for you. Please feel free to call the church and know that you are not alone, that you have people to walk with you, to lift you up when you feel like you are falling. And thanks be to God for that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. I look forward to being with you here again next week for Coffee with Pastor Amy. Grace and peace.